Hey, YouTube. What's going on? It's Monday. Monday fun day. Is Monday a fun day? I don't know. I think Mondays get our bad rap. It's a day where we get to start again. The week is ahead of us. The weekend is furthest away, but there's so much to look forward to. How are you all doing, YouTube? Good? Hey. So Sheena has never been to one of these live streams. Let's give Sheena a hello. Let's all clap for Shahina for being here. Shashina for being here for the first time. Thanks for joining us. Welcome. I'm excited. I'm excited. You know, tomorrow's gonna be a big day. I think Kamala Harris is gonna crush it. But I'm also anxious. I wonder how you all are feeling. Looks like the notification just went out. Funny, it takes a second for it to happen. Are you gonna make a debate bingo card? That's a good idea. I should have thought of that a week ago. I'm not doing it now. I can't wait for the debate either. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to be live beforehand and live after, and we can chat about it after the fact. Hey Deb, an Arizona voter here supporting Harris Walls. Love to hear it. Hey Jordan, Risa, nice to see you here from the Netherlands. Yeah, I'm glad it's not on CNN too. ABC will do a better job, hopefully. Hopefully. But I don't know. I think it's just not fair. The expectations for her are so much higher than they are for him. You know? Linda, the first time. Linda, well, I'm glad you're here. I am trying these at different times to see when the best time is. You know? So welcome, Linda. Welcome to the live stream. Everyone's like, all the people, all the analysts are like setting the stakes for Kamala, and there's zero expectation that Trump should perform well. It's infuriating. It's infuriating. Real quick, everyone, if you could hit like on the live stream, it's the best way to help the live stream. And if you are watching the replay, thank you for joining here, and please hit like on the replay. So we got a lot of stories to go through for the day, okay? One, the headline, JD Vance JD, you know, misinformation. It comes for all of us. And JD Vance got fooled by some misinformation. I think people could say that he knew what he was doing when he was spreading this misinformation. I personally believe he actually got fooled by some misinformation. So we're gonna watch that, and then I'm gonna show you the fact check. We got Laura Ingraham accidentally showing her whole ass on Fox News, not in real life, not really, but figuratively. There's a Texas woman who spoke in front of the Trump building. I want to show you the Trump building in New York City. And I think that's it for today. Oh, and I got some stuff from CNN I want to show you actually first, because I just saw this and it pissed me off. So I want to show it to you. But first, we must do our, what is it, a ritual? Ritual seems like we're doing witchcraft. What would you call it? Like the thing we do? I don't know. But I want to do a roll call. So please let me know what state you're watching from, and I'll kick it off. I am here from Washington, D.C. We got Arizona in the house, Seattle, Houston. Routine. Sure, routine's good. Virginia, Kansas, North Carolina, baby, Massachusetts, California, tradition. I like that. Tradition's the word. Arkansas, New Hampshire, Colorado, Illinois, California, Michigan, Oregon, Massachusetts, Sydney, Australia, California, Minnesota, Texas. We got a blue dot in Texas, Florida Panhandle. We love the blue dots in red states. Michigan, Maryland, Michigan, Illinois, Texas, New York, Washington State, California, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Alaska, Alaska, New York, Finland, Kentucky, Utah, New Jersey, Nebraska. We are all around the world. We are all around the country, and we are here to do one thing, and that is to elect Kamala Harris, the first female president of the United States, defender of democracy. We are all here because we love democracy. We love our country. We are willing to do anything and everything to make sure that she becomes president and that we prevent Donald Trump from ever stepping foot in the White House again. We are mission driven. We are focused, and we know what's at stake. Thank you all for being here. I'm so excited to share this moment with you. We have 56 days until the election. 56 days. Can you believe it? 56 days. Holy shit. Okay. Let's get to work. Here I got some stuff for you. All right, now I gotta look at this. I gotta spread this out. Okay. So this literally just happened on CNN, and I grabbed it because I was so frustrated by it. So I wanted to show you all. Okay. So we're just going to watch it, and then I'll talk about it. Okay?
Of the Harris-Biden administration.
The Harris-Biden administration, All right, so they all got the memo. Now, here's something worth pointing out. Despite Harris being vice president for nearly 4 years, running for president before that, and the fact that she and Trump are in a daily battle against each other, they have never actually met. So tomorrow night, when they walk on that debate stage, that will be the very first time they've ever been in a room together and met. I mean, that's pretty incredible to think about it. And considering, again, that a race can be lost in an hour, look at the stakes. Tonight's CNN poll shows a statistical dead.
They'd never met. Does anyone have any hunch of why Kamala Harris and Donald Trump have never met? They act like this is just some cute factoid. Yes. Well, it's a big deal because they would have fucking met if Donald Trump didn't try to overthrow the election. That's why they never met. He would have been sitting behind Biden, wishing him a good 4 years of a presidency. But instead, on January 6, 2021, he couldn't accept the results of the election, and he sent his angry mom to the Capitol and tried to stop the certification of electoral votes. And this is like, it's such a small thing. It's such a small thing. But this is what I mean when I say that the rot is pervasive. The acceptance of him and what he did has seeped into our culture because it is not normal that they're just like, oh, isn't that interesting? They'd never met. And there's no like context about why that is. All right, and I got one more clip. Yeah, they're going to meet tomorrow. They're going to meet tomorrow. Donald Trump's going to wish he never met her. I'll tell you that. Yes, exactly. And it does, call me see, it does feel like they're bringing it up as if like somehow like she did it. Like they're the reason. Like she's the reason why they've never met. Hey, Maisie. Comment says, yeah, it is nuts how they treat him like this is normal. And none of this is normal. None of it's normal. Wow, 471 people watching. Thank you so much for being here. Here's one more clip that pissed me off. Sorry, I watch CNN. Why do I do that? Why do I watch CNN? Well, I guess because they do have reporting, even if it's not the best. Okay. Sorry, I have to, okay. All right. Now, I want you to try to guess why this makes me upset.
Against fracking. The fracking question, these guys are the bigger thing about Kamala Harris. Who is she? Right, to Vance's point. Who is she? Is she for reparations or not for reparations? Is she for gun seizures or not for gun seizures? Is she for ending private health care? Is she not for ending private health care? She's been on so many sides of these issues. She's kind of like Trump. Well, if he's for abortion, is he not for abortion? On abortion, you can talk about that on abortion, right? He has evolved in abortion.
My friend, evolved is my favorite word.
But no, yeah. Kamala Harris is state, but she hasn't walked them back. She hasn't explained to people.
Any guesses why that makes me mad? Because Dave Urban sucks. Well, I mean, no, I'm going to tell you why. Because the fourth wall is broken for a second there. Do you see how like they're playing their parts? I'm the Republican, I'm the Democrat, I'm the reporter, but then they all just started laughing. Like this is all just a big game.
For abortion. You can talk about that on abortion, right? He has evolved in abortion.
My friend, evolved is my favorite word.
But no, yeah. Kamala Harris is state, but she hasn't walked them back.
It's just a big joke. It's all entertainment for them. And this isn't a television show. This is real life. And I'm sorry if like I sound, what is the word, hysterical? If I sound hysterical, but we are literally, like fascism is literally at the doorstep. This is not a laughing matter, in my opinion. It's not a laughing matter. And I feel like the news, the media, and the media ecosystem between DC and New York act like this is just another election. And it's not. It's not. Now, I'm not saying if Donald Trump were to get elected, that it would be 1929 Germany in a week. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying I for sure think he would run for office for a third term. That is for sure, if he lives that long, because he is an old man. But I do think that we would see, I just think there would be a before and after in that moment. And I don't know what a second Trump presidency with all of his minions, with Project 2025, with a Supreme Court willing and ready to give him anything and everything he wants. I don't know what that looks like, but I don't think it's a laughing matter, to be quite frank. So, yes, we are hopeful and we are joyous and we are excited, but we are excited because of not only because of what might be in Kamala Harris, but because of what we could make we could make true history in getting rid of Donald Trump for once and for all. So that is an exciting moment, but it's also the the other side of it is that the weight of what might be if Trump wins, to me, is a terrifying prospect. But so I don't know. Those are things that I watched those and I was like, what? I feel like the only people who are sane are the ones not, the ones not paid to be reporters, the ones actually paying attention. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So let's lighten it up now. Let's lighten it up, shall we? Let's lighten it up. So JD Vance basically said that immigrants are eating your neighbor's pets. Okay? He said that. So let's watch it. Thank you, Roger. So I haven't watched this. I just know what happened. I know what happened. I haven't watched it. So we'll watch it together for the first time.
Chairman Brown, I'd like to ask unanimous consent to submit a letter for the record from the city of Springfield and our state, the southwestern part of our state, which I think highlights a very real example of this particular concern, straight from the horse's mouth itself. And now this letter I want to quote.
Now, keep in mind, this is not true. This is a total made-up fabrication.
From it.
Misinformation from Facebook, as a matter of fact. Misinformation from Facebook.
Springfield has seen a surge in population through immigration that has significantly impacted our ability as a community to produce enough housing opportunities for all. Springfield's Haitian population has increased 15 to 20,000 over the last 4 years in a community of under 60,000 previous residents, putting a significant strain on our resources and ability to provide ample housing for all of our residents. And end quote there. And Mike.
Without objection. So
thank you. In my conversations with folks in Springfield, it's not just housing. They're trying to build 5,000 new housing units, which is a very Herculean task in a town of about 55,000 people. But it's also hospital services, it's school services, there are a whole host of ways in which this immigration problem, I think, is having very real human consequences.
Oh, I see. Okay, so the clip actually does not mention him getting hit. So it's all in the tweet. Reports now show that people have had their pets abducted and eaten by people who shouldn't be in this country. Whereas our borders are. First off, Kamala Harris is not the border czar. Everything is insane. She is not the border czar. She has never been given that title. It's a made-up title. There's no such thing. Secondly, Kamala Harris was, I can't even remember there's so many lies. I can't remember all of the facts. Kamala Harris, border czar. I'm just going to find it. Okay. I think it's in this. Because her role was like to make trade agreements between them and Mexico, I believe. I think that was like the whole vice presidential job she had. I'm sure there's someone in the chat that knows exactly what that is. But it's asinine. That this is like just one of the many lies they tell. But anyway, so pets getting abducted and eaten. Not true. It was a Facebook post. Here's a reporter saying, the city of Springfield, Ohio, debunks the false claim being pushed by Vance in a statement to ABC. Quote, we wish to clarify that there have been no credible reports or specific claims of pets being harmed or injured by or abused by individuals within the immigrant community. And it's just gonna be another day. He just said immigrants are being eaten, and immigrants are eating pets, and tomorrow is just gonna keep on moving because nothing matters on their side. And for the record, I think this is down here. This guy did eat a dog. That's a dog. And Robert Kennedy Jr. endorsed Trump and is like not just endorsing him as a surrogate. They love him. So of the people the only people eating pets are the people who are supporting Donald Trump. It's always why is every accusation a confession? Why is every accusation a confession? I know, Jack. I know. Sorry, Suzanne. Sorry. I know it's upsetting, but it should be. But that's what I mean. Is like they want to levy the attack when they actually don't care about it. They fully embrace that man. All right. Projection confession. Exactly. All right. This next one's a doozy. Oh, actually, that was actually debunked by the police. Oh, I don't know where it went. Oh, where'd it go? That's why that's in the title. Here it is. Springfield police say they're aware of this. There's a social media post, like I said, from Facebook, but that it was, quote, not something that's on our radar right now. But the post received tens of thousands of impressions. Apparently, one of the impressions was from JD Vance. Lovely. Okay. Laura Ingraham gave sort of like, so like a lot of times what media organizations, reporters, or politicians will do on political campaigns is they will kind of try to tell the press and the media, they'll try to say, this is what my opponent's going to say tomorrow. And they'll try to debunk it ahead of time. That's what Laura Ingraham attempted to do on this Fox News segment. Let's watch it first, knowing that everything she says is a lie. And then we've got some fact checks. Okay?
Because Kamala cannot showcase her abysmal record, tomorrow night she will resort to trafficking in the usual smears that didn't work for Biden. Now, she's going to lie that Trump encouraged violence on January 6th when he said, in fact, go in peace. She's going to lie about Charlottesville and what he said about veterans despite repeated fact checks. She's going to lie about how the illegal cases against Donald Trump are fair and they show that he's untrustworthy, when we know that they never would have gone after him if he had retired from politics. She's going to lie, of course, about her record on the economy and claim that she's created all these jobs when most, of course, have bounce-back jobs from COVID or, of course, they went to foreign workers. And she's going to lie that Trump's policies will cause more inflation when we know going to bring down the cost of energy, which will bring down inflation. She's going to lie that she's tough on crime when we know that the migrant crime explosion is destroying our neighborhoods. She'll lie that the immigration bill that was engineered by Schumer and Jim Langford would have fixed the border crisis and that Trump killed it for political reasons. And she's going to lie that she's the candidate for change when she's just another puppet of the failed establishment.
I don't know. What do you think of that? Fun fact fun fact, when I got back from the DNC in DC from Chicago, I looked to my right when I'm waiting for my Uber, and who would you guess is right next to me? Laura Ingraham. It took everything in my being to not like do something, to not say something. But I didn't. And maybe I should have. But what would it have fixed? You know? But there she was. She's very short. She's very short and looks totally different without makeup. She had no makeup on. It was very alarming just seeing her there. I don't know. Tell her off and do what? Like, what would happen? You know what I mean? And then what? She'd still be doing this shit. So I just feel like I don't want to waste the energy. You know, for every action, there's an equal but opposite reaction. I don't want to put that energy out there towards someone, I guess. But maybe I should have. Okay, let's watch this again. Now, let's fact check.
Because Kamala cannot showcase her abysmal record, tomorrow night she will resort to trafficking in the usual smears that didn't work for Biden. Now, she's going to lie that Trump encouraged violence on January 6th when he said, in fact, go in peace.
Okay. First fact check. So he did say that. He did say, where is it? He did say we're, oh yeah, here it is. Peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. This is the quote that they always quote when they say it was a peaceful speech, okay? But I'm sorry, if you put shit in a sandwich and you surround it by lettuce and tomato, it's still a shit sandwich, okay? So just because you said one word doesn't mean the rest of the speech is null and void. He said a whole bunch of other stuff. First off, just leading up to that moment were months of attacking democracy, saying it was stolen, levying every single accusation he could from election workers up to elected members, like state elected officials. And he tried, and so he created an atmosphere. Like, imagine for a minute. Imagine Donald Trump actually figured out a way to steal the election in November. Okay, let's just. I mean, he's not going to, but imagine if he did, and you knew he did. Wouldn't you do anything and everything you could to try to stop Donald Trump from stealing the election? Of course you would. So he created an atmosphere. He created an atmosphere where January 6th could happen. Okay, so that's speech aside. He is the reason why, if not for his lies, January 6th never would have happened. That is a fact. If he would have just said, I lost the election, good job, see you in 4 years, I wish the president well, January 6th never would have happened. So there's that, okay? Secondly, he did say we will stop the steal. He said, we will never give up, we will never concede, it doesn't happen. And then, of course, he said, if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. You're not, hey, Kelly. So it was not peaceful. He did say, we should peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. But like I said, if you put shit in a sandwich and you surround it by lettuce and tomato, it's still a shit sandwich.
She's going to lie about Charlottesville and what he said about veterans, despite.
All right. So he did say, I mean, we all know this. He did say that there are good people on both sides. His own chief of staff has been on the record saying that he called people who are captured suckers and losers. So this one's easily debunked because you literally, I mean, both are debunked because you can fucking just listen to them.
Repeated fact checks. She's going to lie about how the illegal cases against Donald Trump are fair and they show that he's untrustworthy, when we know that they never would have gone after him if he had retired from politics.
I actually don't know. I actually don't know in this one. Do you think Donald Trump do you think the January 6th case would have been brought against him if he didn't run again? Yes? I actually don't know. I think Merrick Garland took a sweet ass time, didn't he? Oh my gosh. Artemis. Thank you for the $10. Let's give a round of applause for Artemis. People where I live in Northeast Ohio cite being afraid to put up Harris wall signs because MAGAs harass and attack them and vandalize their homes. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's a good point. Kelly has a good point. But I don't think about this enough. He did announce super early. He announced his presidential campaign like 2 months after the midterms, basically. Well, not really, but like 6 months after the midterms. It was super early. He should have been arrested. Yes, Karen. It's such a failure of our system that guy was not arrested immediately for his role in the insurrection. It is such a failure of our system. The minute that he was no longer president, he should have been immediately arrested. And there should have been a trial. Corrine says, Corrine, gonna have to unfollow for failure to do your own fact check. What? What does that even mean? How I'm literally sitting here fact checking right now. What are you talking about? Do you think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
She just fell out of a coconut tree. But she...
You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
You exist in the context. You still exist in the context. All right, let's keep going with this fact check that I guess I'm not doing.
She's going to lie, of course, about her record on the economy and claim that she's created all these jobs when most, of course, have bounce back jobs from COVID, or, of course, they went to foreign workers.
Whew. All right, this is a big one. Let's keep going. First off, the White House has said, this isn't even the White House. This is the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, okay? Look at that. Look at that. I mean, you don't even need to know what the numbers are to know this is good and this is bad, okay? Of course, that's because of COVID. But also, the way COVID was managed, he pretended like it wasn't even happening. He pretended like COVID wasn't even happening. Literally anyone else would have done a better job. He politicized masks during a pandemic that was largely spread through the air. So yeah, I think he owns a little bit of these jobs that he lost, okay? But, and let's just read our economy gain, All right, 14 million jobs have been created under President Obama. I do believe, like, even if you believe some of these are bounce back jobs, which is like, it could be like 9 million COVID jobs bounce back after Trump was no longer in office because we actually had someone that could actually manage a worldwide crisis. That aside, we still get 5 million actual jobs from Biden, okay? But it goes further. Well, this is why I think she's going to go into this part next.
And she's going to lie that Trump's policies will cause...
Yes. Great. Where'd you go? Why doesn't like that part? All right, we're doing it again. This is my favorite part. This is my favorite part of the whole live stream.
And she's going to lie that Trump's policies will cause more inflation when we know that he's going to bring down the cost of energy, which will bring down inflation.
Oh, really? First off, gas hasn't been lower. It's like a 3-year low. First off, okay? Gas has never been lower. We're producing more energy than ever as a fuck you to Russia so that we can send fuel to our allies. That's why Kamala Harris is like frack baby, frack all day, because she knows that oil is fucking up Russia, and Russia needs that money to fight the war that they never should have started. Okay, so that's one. That's not in this next video, but just put that in your fucking cap, Laura Ingraham. But listen to this. This is a little long, but you know what? It's going to be worth it.
Sure. Then what really lives up with reality?
And I want to ask you about part of his plan, and hopefully he will get to that when he gives his speech, and we'll go back to it. But can you talk about tariffs? Before you get to that, sorry to ask you a two-pronged question
here. They did like a live, good on CNN, they did a live fact check during Trump's economic speech. And this is him. I love this. I want everyone to see this. I wish everyone could see this. It is the most succinct way of explaining the way Donald Trump's policies hurt America and what economists think Trump's policies that he's proposing will do to America. Let's listen.
We were sitting here listening, and he was talking about the bounce back job that he was responsible for with regard to some of the Biden era jobs. Is that a thing? And if it is, can you explain what that is?
Well, then I think what he's alluding to is the fact that, of course, the economy was adding jobs when Biden came into office in 2021 because the COVID crisis was beginning to fade and eventually the pandemic ended. And so as the economy reopened, of course, jobs were going to be rapidly increasing. But again, Trump's critics would argue that the economy wouldn't have lost as many jobs if the COVID crisis, the health crisis itself, had been better managed in the first place. So I think that's some important context. On trade, so we do expect Trump to reaffirm his plans to impose sweeping tariffs. He's called for 10 to 20% tariffs on all $3 trillion of U.S. imports, 60% tariffs on China. I've got to tell you, I've been talking to economists for years about policy ideas, and I'm not sure I've ever heard as much across-the-board concern about a policy idea as I've heard about the Trump tariffs. That's not to say that he isn't trying to address legitimate concerns, right? We hear from Republicans, we hear from Democrats, we hear from CEOs and others that China is not playing fair on trade and that something has to be done. But the question is whether or not this fix would actually do more harm than good, because a lot of the mainstream economists I talked to, they warn that massive tariffs like this, they would kill jobs. It would actually make inflation worse. It could cause a global trade war. I talked to JP Morgan's David Kelly, and he told me that this is one of those, we hear from Republicans, that this is one of those magical economic proposals.
Listen to this. This is the quote of the century, okay, as it pertains to the economy.
Me that this is one of those magical economic proposals that can actually cause inflation and put you into a recession at the same time, right? So
this is one of those magical economic proposals that can put you into a recession and cause inflation at the same time. That is what like a leading economist said about Donald Trump's economic proposal. Okay? That's the facts. Tariffs are a tax on the middle class.
Be clear, you don't want either of those things to happen, and the fear is that both of them could happen. I talked to Douglas Holtz-Eakin, a former McCain and George H.W. Bush advisor, and he told me that this tariff plan is just terrible economic policy. And there's some research out there from the Peterson Institute that warns that everyday Americans are going to pay the price, that the typical middle-income family would have to pay $2,600 more a year because of the Trump.
You see that? That is Trump's proposal for the middle class. Screenshot that. Screenshot that right now. Send that to people who might not know. Donald Trump wants to give taxes or give a tax break to the wealthiest people in this country who do not need it, and he wants to make everyone else pay for it, and he wants you to pay more money just so he can stick up a middle finger to China that will not hurt China and will only hurt us. Yeah. And no one is talking about it like this. We have to find random clips.
Tariffs, and notably, Dana, this does not even factor in the almost definite retaliation we'd have as other countries respond to those Trump tariffs. So there's a lot to break down and to understand about what the real world implications are from some of these policy proposals.
That was so.
All right. It sounds like the gas thing is lighting up the chat. So gas is, I don't have, full disclosure, I do not have a car. I have not had a car since I was 20. I have gotten around by mass transit in New York City, and now I have an electric bike. So I do not know the price of gas, and it does not impact me one way or the other, okay? But is gas better now? Yes? Yeah, neither does Trump. Good point. So for context, is that was it $5 before? Oh, it was $5 before. Oh, shit. It's still not as good as it was, but it's better. $2.41 in Walmart in Louisiana. Huh. Welcome home, Luna. Welcome to the live stream. Some places were $7. Holy shit. So anyway, but do you see how much work it takes to, because a lie, it's like what is a good analogy? It is so much harder to build a house, to build a home. It is so much harder to build a home than it is to tear it down. It can take months to build a home, and it can take moments to destroy it. So it is so easy for them to just fling these bombs, and it is so much harder to defend the truth, and it takes so much more time. That's why spaces like this are so important. All right, let's keep going.
She's going to lie.
Harder to renovate than rebuild from scratch. Jack made my analogy even better. Thank you, Jack.
That she's tough on crime when we know that the migrant crime explosion is destroying our neighborhoods. She'll lie that the immigration bill that was engineered by Schumer and Jim Langford would have fixed the border crisis and that Trump killed it for political reasons. And she's going to lie.
So if it wouldn't have fixed the border, of course, the border is a complex issue that literally no previous administration has ever fixed. The only reason why it went down under Trump was because of COVID. And the reason why it went nuts during Biden's administration is because there was built up demand from that moment during COVID where I think there was this built-in demand for like shopping and traveling. Like there was a lot of built-in demand, and part of that was also just, crossing the border. It's something that also was impacted by it not, there's built-up demand. Like there were more weddings in 2021 than there were in 2020, for instance, obviously in 2022. So that's one part. Second part is if it wouldn't have fixed the border, nothing would have, but it would have made it better. It's the most conservative bill ever. Lindsey Graham said we will never get a better bill. This is the most conservative bill I've seen in my lifetime. It's crazy that Democrats were supporting it, but we wanted to do something. We knew it was a political killer, so we had to do something, and they still rejected it. And Donald Trump literally said, if they get mad about you about it, tell them I did it. Jim, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Jim. Let's get some claps in the chat for Jim. We are at, I checked today, we are at 350 memberships. That's so many people. 350 memberships. So thank you so much. The goal is to get to 1,000, to get to 1,000 memberships. So if you're a gifted member, it only lasts for the month. So my hope would be that if you're a gifted member, maybe you consider resubscribing when it runs up. Yes, the goal is 1,000, and we're at 350. So thank you all so much for helping support the channel.
That she's the candidate for change when she's just another puppet of the failed establishment.
Okay. That was fun. Did you like that segment? I guess we'll call it a segment. Going after, let's lighten the mood again. Going after doing some fact checking. Sometimes, I wish more people would do this. I've got one more clip, but it's kind of a downer. So maybe we just skip it. We're at 350 subscribers, Susie. Oh, well, I'm grateful you're here. Skip. I will read you the. We'll do a poll on it actually. Oh, subs. I'm at 166,000 subs. It has slowed down a lot, and that's okay. But it has slowed down a lot. It's oh my God, Kathleen, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. So I'm gonna do a poll. Wild says, thank you, Keith. Thank you for the $10. Wild. I went to Wild Elementary as a child. All right, we're gonna start a poll. The Chris Show is an intro member. Thank you for joining up, Chris. Should we watch this last clip? Yes or no? And the clip is about, where is it? It's about a woman speaking. It's 4 minutes. It's a woman speaking in front of Donald Trump, the Trump Tower, talking about how the abortion issue has impacted her life. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. We're gonna watch it. Okay. We're gonna watch it. Here we go.
Good afternoon. My name is Amanda Zarowski, and I live in Austin, Texas. My friend Caitlin Joshua and I are here today to speak on behalf of the more than 1 in 3 women impacted by Trump's extreme.
Let's get some blue hearts in the chat. Let's flood some blue hearts in the chat. Do you know how brave you have to be to do this? How absolutely brave you have to be to not only speak in front of public, right? That's one thing. Like, most people cannot speak in front of a crowd or in front of cameras. Such a big deal that she's doing this. And then to talk about something so personal. This is a strong, courageous woman. And it's women like this, they're going to save our country. So, shout out to her for having the courage and strength to talk about this, because she is going to give other people courage and strength to fight for what's right in their own lives or in their own community.
Abortion bans. As Jessica so powerfully shared, Trump does not respect women. He doesn't trust us to make the choices that are best for our health, our family, or our lives. And that has had devastating consequences for women all across our country, including me. In the spring of 2022, my husband Josh and I learned I was pregnant with our first baby, a girl. We were over the moon. And my first trimester was smooth sailing, but then suddenly at 18 weeks, I suffered catastrophic complications. My cervix dilated prematurely, and there was no way to safely reverse course. So we were with 100% certainty going to lose our baby girl. We were devastated. What I needed at that point was an abortion so I could safely and with dignity deliver my daughter and begin the healing process, both physically and emotionally. But unfortunately, this was post-Roe, Texas, and the near total abortion ban had gone into effect just 2 days after my water broke.
Wow.
Ending the pregnancy would have been considered an illegal abortion. My doctor would be at risk of loss of her license and even jail time. So I was told to wait until I got so sick that my life was considered in danger, which is one of the rare exceptions in Texas where a doctor can actually intervene. So it took 3 days and a near-death crash into septic shock before I could get the health care that I desperately needed.
Oh my God.
After stabilizing my vitals enough to deliver our baby Willow, I crashed again with another bout of sepsis and was transferred to the ICU.
Wow.
I was there for 3 days, and my family flew in from across the country for fear that I wouldn't make it through the night. But it was in that dark and lonely hospital room that I realized I was actually lucky. I lived. I knew others might not be so lucky. What I went through was nothing short of barbaric, and it didn't need to happen. But it did because of Donald Trump and his allies, who continuously brag about killing Roe v. Wade. It is unthinkable to me that anyone could cheer on the cruel abortion bans that nearly cost.
Kathleen says, this is crazy. A retired OR nurse here. It's called healthcare. First off, Kathleen, thank you so much for your service and for showing up for others. And I agree. This is wild that this is our country now, that you have to almost die just to get, to get the health care you need.
Me my life, but they do. And what's more, Trump has said that there should be some form of punishment for women who have an abortion, women like me and Caitlin. Tragically, my story is not unique. I am one of many women whose life has been put at risk because of Trump's abortion bans. Women across our country have been told that we're not sick enough to receive health care.
Let's get a shout out to Wild in the chat. Wild became an intro member. Thank you so much, Wild.
We've been turned away from hospitals. We've been found collapsed on bathroom floors after nearly hemorrhaging to death. We have been robbed of our right to grieve our miscarriages and our pain, and told to flee across state borders in the hope of receiving basic health care. I'm just one of these women. My husband Josh and I are now desperately trying to start a family, now through IVF. And earlier this year, we watched in complete terror as the Alabama Supreme Court issued a decision that instantly halted IVF services in that state. It's absolutely gut-wrenching, and it's only happening because of Donald Trump and his policies. That's why we need to defeat Trump. We must elect Vice President Harris and Governor Walz. They are fighting for reproductive freedom, and they won't stop until they restore the protections of Roe so that people in every state have access to the safe health care they deserve.
Wow. Wow. That really does just level sets you, doesn't it? We talk about these issues so often, or at least I do. I'll just speak for me. That you obviously, I always know that there's a person behind the policy who gets impacted, and it's just so crazy to me. This is happening in our country, and like it does feel like we've gone backwards in a big way. Like this woman should have just been able to talk to her doctor. It's such a painful thing to have a child to lose a child anyway. It's such a painful thing to lose to have a miscarriage, and then to also then have the trauma of not being able to get an abortion. Jesus Christ. Man, this is what this election's about. This is what it's about. Sorry I didn't catch her name. This Texas woman just like wrenches my heart. All right. Well, now we got to end on something good. I don't even what the hell are we going to end on? Does anyone have any suggestions? I want to end on something like positively. It's important, but we're also, men have to fight for all women. Absolutely. 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 I guess I'll ask you this. How are we feeling about the election tomorrow, huh? How are we feeling? I'm going to tell you how I'm feeling. The new Trump ad. We can watch the new Trump ad again. I do think listen. I am so okay. Now, okay, I just went there. I just went there in my feelings. I am so excited. First off, she's going to kick his ass. Let's just be honest. She's going to kick his ass. He will probably be restrained for the first 20 to 30 minutes, okay? He will be restrained for the first 20 or 30 minutes. And then he's going to lose it because she's going to be able to stick it in him, and he's not going to like getting poked at. And I do think that she will win this debate. My hope is, we obviously don't know what's going to happen. My hope is that he is crazy. He shows how crazy it is. I think the muted mics helps him and hurts us, because being able to respond in real time should be what debating is all about. And restraining him, helps censor his worst instincts. Tomorrow. So here's what I'm toying with. Is that I am thinking about doing a live stream, but I'm watching it. But I can't obviously have the screen on. Can't have the audio on either. But maybe we could just be here chatting while it's happening. Do we like that idea? Could do that. So it'd be like I'm here. The debate is here. And I think there'd be like a little bit of a delay. That's the only thing, is if you're watching at home, then, you know, there'll be a little delay between what I say versus when you see it. But, you know, I think we should do an after debate stream. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But I think, you know, it'll be historic. Let's call it that. But I'm grateful to be experiencing history with all of you. Thank you for showing up here on this Monday night. We're just trying different times of live streams and different sorts of content and seeing what works and what doesn't. Okay. But, I hope you enjoy these live streams, because I enjoy doing them. I enjoy doing them more than making YouTube videos, which I enjoy doing, but these are more fun for me. I like the instant interaction with people, and you don't have to do editing. Editing is terrible. Editing is not my favorite thing to do. So pre-live and post-debate, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Common Sense says, my 13-year-old cannot wait, and I'm sure I'll cry at some point. I hope she wipes the floor with him. Yeah, I will cry too. I won't cry too. But for now, that is all I have for tonight. Editing is not fun for a girl. It's not. I know. I cannot wait until I can pay an editor. It will slow down the process, but I think it'll make it better. But I'm not there yet. Maybe in a year. You want Kamala's coconut soundbite? I do think she should say this tomorrow.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
She just needs to say that to him once and she'll end him. All right, everyone. I will see you tomorrow for a post-debate wrap. Perhaps some sort of, I don't know, watching while listening. I don't know. But I will be there. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you all for being here. And I hope you have a good night. Dallas says check your voting registration, your voting status. That's true. Do that. Okay, bye, everyone.